At more than 660,000 square miles, Alaska is the largest of these United States, more than double the size of Texas. Of course, with roughly 735,000 residents, it is also one of the smallest states in terms of population. But within this massive land, the animal population is thriving. Bald eagles swirl the skies, and black and brown bears traverse its mountainous rainforests. Further north, Ursus martimus, or polar bears, rule the icy tundra. The seas are home to killer whales, salmon, and king crabs, and with water temperatures higher than normal this year in Ketchikan, Alaska, at least one tour guide wondered if sharks could be headed to the last frontier. In this vast, often misunderstood land, sometimes unlikely opportunities emerge, like an eagle spying a dead fish thrown into the water by a guide and then swooping down to grab an easy meal. Or a seal, waiting to do the same, biding its time near a salmon hatchery, waiting for its former guest to pay an expected return visit. For humans, Alaska can be as dangerous as it is beautiful. During the gold rush, people came in droves looking for fortune, but sometimes with opportunities comes peril. During the construction of this railroad more than a century ago, 2 workers were crushed when a massive boulder landed on them, which to this day remains their permanent resting place. Speaking of dangerous work, for today's workers, fishing is one of the most hazardous career choices in the United States, and in Alaskan waters the risks are even greater. According to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 124 fishermen died in Alaska between 2000 and 2009. That said, with great risk comes great reward for fishermen who brave the unforgiving conditions of the Bering Sea in winter searching for a lucrative haul of king crab. Again, opportunity. For me, I found my opportunity on a cruise ship headed for Alaska that featured a lecture from Captain David Lethin, the CEO of Commercial Fishing Adventures, discussing his entrepreneurial idea of turning his fishing boat into a sightseeing crab tour called Bering Sea Crab Fisherman's Tour. His ship, the Aleutian Ballad, is famous for its appearance on Season 2 of Discovery Channel's Deadliest Catch, after the ship was hit by a massive wave, causing the ship to list perilously. Curious about the leadership philosophy of a Bering Sea crab fisherman and how he recruits people to go on such dangerous excursions, I approached Lethin for an interview. Without proper video equipment handy, I enlisted the help of my father-in-law, Alton, to record the interview on this very special edition of the Wacky World of Work from the Pacific Ocean.
A lot of times I like to get the greenhorn. I like the kid that doesn't know anything. He's willing to give it 100%. Kid that just says, I'll do what you ask of me for however long, give me a shot. Rather than hire the guy that says, I know everything, I've been around the block, this is what I did, this is what I did. And I'm like, that's the guy I'm going to steer away from. I want the guy that I can train and mold into a crew member that's going to be there for years to come. Reputation. You know, it takes a while to get a reputation as a fisherman to where you pretty much get the pick of the litter. My first year as a captain up here in Alaska, I went through 51 crew members, 4 guys at a time. Not only was I trying to work so hard, the boat kept breaking down. And every time the boat would break down, my crew would quit. And I would go hire a new crew. I ran out of options one time in the winter, and I went up to the local bar. I bought them a few beers. I took out some money in my wallet, and I said, come fish with me, and I'll pay you out of my own pocket. You go through 51 crew members in a year, it will break your dream. And I left Alaska. I said I'd never come back. Many young men, lots of them, they used to work for me on my boats. They went off to run other boats. I know 4 of those guys, plus their entire crews, it didn't make it. You never want to get that phone call. I had 7 commercial fishing boats. I got that phone call one time. 4 years ago when Steve Neva, a great friend, awesome crew member, got killed on one of the boats. And it was the worst phone call that you can possibly do. He rides with us today up in the bow of that tour boat. There's a big plaque and Steve's up there. Just walk up, touch his memorial, and he comes with us today. As a captain, I don't worry about what my crew is thinking. Whether I'm making the right decision or not, if I'm worried about what they're thinking about me, I'm done. So you make those decisions, you pick your gear up, you move them, you make the big decisions that you have to make, irregardless of what the crew's intentions or desires are. Because when you start bringing that into the equation, you're taking their inventory and you're pretty miserable. So you learn that lesson early on. That if you're in command, you make the calls, you're responsible.
So it's not decision by committee.
No, it's not just no.
It's not. No, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want?
It's a dictatorship for sure. But that's the only way it really works well on a boat, I believe. You can sit down. I mean, I am friends with my crew. Don't get me wrong, we're friends. But when it comes down to the tough decisions, you got to make it. I've never had that question. I've had many life or death decisions, questionable times when I didn't think I'd make it home. And at that point, the decision is to, stay calm. Toughest decision, one of the worst times is when you're not catching anything. You got to pick up your gear, you put them all on the boat, and you have to run sometimes 200 miles away. And the crew's looking at you and they're going, are we really doing this? Well, we might be dropping a pot every 2 miles for 200 miles to pick them up and try to figure out where the crabs are.
Thank you for joining us today on this special edition of the Wacky World of Work from the Pacific Ocean. I'd like to thank my guest, Captain David Lethin, for joining me. Until next time, like I always say, whatever works.